All right, everyone, welcome back to another Complexity Casting presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef, bringing you more awesome Heroes of New Earth action here from HoN Tour. The Diamond Division is still going on. Yeah, it's Monday. You have not checked the calendar wrong, but this match was rescheduled from yesterday, and I was contacted and said, hey, Beef, you want to cast this? My response was, oh, yeah, I got some stuff to do. I have to, go grow. Hell yeah, I want to cast this. This is Lions versus TteS. Going to be an absolutely awesome matchup here for you Monday morning. Oh, it's going to be absolutely cool, so let's get right on into it. I was actually kicked out of the game for just a second, so I didn't catch who actually did the blind bans, but the blind bans were, of course, Engineer, Wild Soul, Ophelia, and Keeper of the Forest. So a little bit interesting there with Engineer being blind banned. I'd really like to know who might have banned that Engineer, but unfortunately things do happen, and I wasn't able to see that one, but he's not going to be making it into this game. Of course, Keeper of the Forest and Wild Soul, super standard blind bans, extremely strong jungling and suicide type roles there, so no reason that they should not be banned, but they're not going to be seen this time. Getting into the lock phase. First lock coming out of Hanskin for Lions Esports is in fact Bubbles. So a very strong hero, of course, with his suicide potential, initiation, counter initiation, CC if you grab a couple of those items, and of course the strong silence too. So going on past that, White, locking Pebbles, and Magnus. So interesting to note about TteS. Slicks has left the team, of course, playing for Vote. We saw him yesterday playing with them. And it looks like White has stepped up as the new drafter, captain of the team, what have you. So he's going with maybe a little bit different drafting style. We'll have to see. But first locks from him are, in fact, Pebbles, Magnus, followed up by Lions locking Pharaoh, Master of Arms, and finish it out with a Luna. Strong support right there, as well as Master of Arms. A lot of teams have been choosing to run him as a support lately, especially in some aggressive tri-lanes, as we might have seen this weekend from teams like One Trick Pony, and I believe that we saw it in another game. It might have been Fortune Bakery actually running that one. And then, of course, Pebbles, Magnus, Pharaoh, three excellent strength initiator type heroes, able to get the drop on your opponents, put out a ton of damage, get them out of position, or just get the gank and get on out of there. So great heroes in that respect. Let's get into the banning phase here. Bans coming out from Lions Esports are Meraxis, Tundra, Silhouette. So Silhouette, very standard, strong, or the strongest ranged agility carry in the game. It's debatable, but certainly one of the top three in accompaniment with FA and Draconis. So she's not going to be seen this time. Tundra and Meraxis, both going to be banned as well. Two more initiator type heroes that are being banned right there. And Tundra, of course, with that bird, the great map control he can bestow, and a strong laning presence, going to be shut down here. Draconis, Demented Shaman, and Fade on the other side are banned out. So the only ranged agi carry, the real strong ones that are really left in the pool, are Forsaken Archer and, of course, Moon Queen, who's been making a little bit of a return. I'm probably forgetting one, but those are the ones that we typically talk about. Moon Queen actually has been used quite a bit recently. Vote, as well as Orange Esports Malaysia, have been using her to great effect. We'll see if that one gets picked up with both Draconis and Forsaken Archer banned in this game. Fade, of course, god tier type hero people like to call her, so she is going to get banned as well. Not going to make it into this game, but we are already into the picking phase. First pick out of Lions eSportKlubb is Tempest. So we'll see that one coming out, of course. In addition to the game-changing ultimate, the Elemental Void, Tempest does bring to the table probably the fastest jungle potential, great farming potential there, and also extremely strong push with ganking utility, utilizing those glacial blasts. So a great first pick. However, picking him first leaves the other team 5 slots to try to counter that hero, and with heroes like Pharaoh already in the pool, and we'll see if TteS tries to pick that one up. I think that Lion might actually try to pick up Pharaoh with their first lockpick. Maybe design a team around that, seeing as they've also banned Ophelia as well as Keeper of the Forest. So, I mean, once you talk about getting rid of Ophelia and her Skeleton Kings, Pharaoh, and you talk about getting rid of Keeper of the Forest, that's a lot of the counters through Tempest Shrunken Head. We'll see if they might pick up something like a Forsaken Archer with a Whispering Helm, then dominate even more Skeleton Kings to try to use those to block Tempest ultimates. But we're going on a little bit too much about Tempest. Getting into the other side, we have Plague Rider and Glacius being pulled out. So Plague can be played as a suicide hero, can be played as a support. Most likely will be played suicide in this role, though, since they already do have Glacius as a support, because he does not have a whole lot of carry potential or suicide potential or jungle. Glacius is a support. You never really see him played other than just support. So that's what they're going to be doing. Back to Lions Esports, Tremble and Parasite make it through here. So Super KGE will be playing that Tremble. Saw him a couple of weeks ago play an extremely strong Tremble against Complexity. They were actually scrimming, and Super KGE went nearly 700 GPM on that Tremble. So clearly a hero that he's able to use quite effectively, get the farm that he needs, and then keep it going with map control, consistent ganks. Oh, I see what I see over there. But first, Parasite, of course, making it through the blind bans and the bans into the picking stage right here. So they do manage to pick up that Parasite, and that's going to be a very useful hero to have. Offensive ganker, and just able to pick off all kinds of heroes. Plague Rider, Glacius, and even Dark Lady before she gets super farmed, all very vulnerable to this Parasite. So I like that pick quite a bit. TteS finishes out with Dark Lady. So Slicks, their Dark Lady player, no longer with the team. He's, of course, been replaced temporarily or permanently, we'll see, by Enzo, formerly of Domain of Pain. We'll see who does, in fact, play that. I would assume that it's going to be Moravis playing that Dark Lady. I believe that he has a history of playing that hero, but we'll have to see. I, in fact, cast One Trick Pony versus QSQ yesterday. If you haven't seen those yet, they'll be up on my YouTube today at youtube.com/beefpotpie1. And not going to spoil it, but Nox had one of the best Dark Lady games I've ever seen. It was kind of stupidly brutal, so make sure to check that one out if you like seeing ridiculously farmed Dark Ladies. Over here, though, first pick out of the lock pool is, in fact, Magmus. And I like that hero quite a bit. One of the strongest initiators in the game. Of course, if you run him in that mid role with another hero, which I would suspect that Lions wants to be able to pick something up like that. But a lot of those mid-type heroes are already banned. One that sticks out, though, Nymphora. So we'll see if that one gets picked up. Oh, Aluna was still in the lock pool. Sorry, I didn't even realize that we were still in the lock pool. Monday morning. I got a case of the Mondays, that's for sure. So anyway, Aluna comes out right there to support the Magmus, and on the other side, TteS finishes it out with Bubbles, going to be played by Riser, and Pebbles being played by Moravis. So Enzo is actually going to be playing that Dark Lady. So all right there. We'll see how he does that and how he really brings it to this team. So let's get it on indeed, guys. I hope that you are completely... See, there's my YouTube uploads. I want to make sure those were done. I was doing that before the game did start right there, so I wanted to make sure those aren't going to be affecting the upload at all of this stream. But guys, I hope that you're ready for an awesome series here. I know that I am. Let's go over these teams one more time. Lions bringing Hanskin, playing that Magmus. Super KGE playing that Tremble. Krebson on the Parasite. Check him out in the jungle over there. We do have LG on the Tempest, and Seal Kid, #1 player in my book. He is on the Aluna, going to do his support thing. So, looks like they might be sending... They might send Tempest to do a little bit of suiciding. That's a possibility. They could also send Magmus and Luna up there in that top lane, as she's already got 2 wards, and then they would leave Tremble maybe... This is going to be an interesting lane setup for Lion. I don't even know if I can speculate on that one. I mean, I would think they're going to suicide Tempest and then maybe have an offensive Parasite, and then Aluna Magmus mid with Super KGE on the short lane Tremble, but we'll have to see about that one. GT Esports, on the other hand, they might be a little bit easier to read. Plague Rider, probably going to do his suicide thing. Moravis might team up mid. Well, no. Maybe it's not even easier to read. Riser, guys, this is a rough-looking lineup to call. Let me change the overlay here real quick, make sure that I get that out of the way. But whatever they do, they're going to want to make sure that Dark Lady does, of course, get that farm. Probably going to put her in the short lane solo. She should stack up pretty well against that Tempest in a suicide role if that is what they choose to do. But if they put Aluna Magmus up there in that top lane, then it might be a little bit harder for a solo Dark Lady. They might have to babysit her at that point. But Moravis on the Pebbles and Dark Lady would both like a babysit if they're not going to be one-on-one with the hero. And right now it looks like Pebbles and Glacius is going to be heading out to the bottom lane, which would lead me to believe that Riser is going to be going middle here. And Whitalaba actually not going to be playing Suicide, perhaps. Looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of babysitting. For the time being, he's heading toward this bottom lane. I don't know if that's just to extinguish one of these creeps, and then he might make his way up top, but we shall see. Stacking a little bit of regen here on the Dark Lady, so that leads me to believe that he will be sticking up there. 4 players coming out for Lions up into this top lane, and this is a pretty aggressive contingent right here in the early stages. No skills learned just yet on the Krebson's Parasite. If he needs to, he'll probably learn that leech so that he can get that nuke slow off. But he'd like to get that infest at level 1, that's for sure. Seal Kid and Magnus going to be rotating toward mid, so it does look like Tempest will in fact be going for that suicide position. Parasite is going to be in the offensive jungle as well, or at least hanging out here for the time being, maybe to set up a gank. We'll see. Glacius and Pebbles were using that flying courier to get a little bit of scouting information off, but they know that they're safe for the time being as they're hanging out in the jungle, looking to get the ward down. Now, we went over Lion's team, but let's go over TteS real quick while the creeps make their way into the lane. We do have Leon Black here playing the Glacius. Whitalaba going to be on the Plague Rider, who is going up toward top. So he's going to be assisting Enzo on that Dark Lady. Moravis is going to be on the Pebbles in the bottom lane. And, of course, Riser rounds it out with that mid Bubbles. Now, Bubbles going up against Magnus and Aluna. He's going to get harassed out of this lane pretty effectively by the Aluna at this point, and should be able to get some experience, but would not actually be expecting him to get too much in the way of farm. Ice Imprisonment going to come out as well. Stalagmites onto Super KGE down here, and they're actually doing a lot of damage with these auto attacks. One more will come out from Leon Black, but Super KGE down to below 100 HP there. And he's a relatively squishy hero at level 1, 473 HP, and he only brought 3 Tree Eaters into this lane. No health potions, nothing along those lines, and he's actually retreating quite a bit. Looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of a lane swap, probably putting Tremble there in the mid, and then Magnus is going to be going bottom. They're bringing something out on the courier. I can't actually click on the courier. It's a TP, so yeah, they're doing a lane swap down here, and I like that. Tremble will fare much better against this Bubbles in the mid lane, and he's already got this Terra Mound down there as well, so that's going to be nice. Something to point out here, no junglers in this game. I mean, Tempest, of course, does have the potential to jungle, but he's playing a suicide position for the time being. YouTube, why do you keep popping up like that? I'm sorry, I actually want to close that window really quick. I think it's trying to let me know that my videos are done. But I apologize for that one, guys. Yeah, Tempest is in the suicide role, not in the jungle role, and Dark Lady doing a very effective job of actually canceling the mana potions very, very quickly here. Tremble is being followed, but just like that, he's already ported down to this Terra Mound in the bottom lane, so he's going to go ahead and have superior mobility around this map to be able to get to wherever he needs to go, but of course, the Magnus Aluna lane, they're having to walk back and forth, so that's not ideal for them. Super KGE trying his best to get the farm wherever he goes. He's even been given the 3 runes of the Blight here. So getting a little bit more regen. But interesting to see both of these teams do a little bit. Parasite going to be coming in right there. The Leech would be applied to Glacius here, but the Ice Imprisonment effective, but an auto attack right there from Seal Kid, and he brings home that last hit. So Bloodlust going out to Lions eSports there. A nice gank with the Parasite, who has in fact rotated into the safe jungle. And with those boots, able to get in there, get this slow that they needed, and set up that first blood. So great job by them. Pebbles in the middle lane now without his babysitter is looking kind of rough. He wants that Glacius to come back down, but Glacius, Leon Black, is going to the bottom lane first, wants to be able to help out Bubbles, maybe set up a kill there, but Super KGE playing up pretty aggressive for the time being. Glacius is going to show himself here, and it looks like they might rotate back down here. I mean, I don't know why the Glacius is down here not assisting his Pebbles. Pebbles not really able to get a lot done here in the middle lane. without the assistance of his babysitter, but they're pushing back Super KGE's farm for quite some time. Ice Imprisonment going to come out right there, as well as a couple of auto attacks. Super KGE has to fall back, but Parasite is here now with the Minotaur. He might be able to get something happening, but no, he actually did walk by not one, but two Ward of Sights. So TteS is well aware of the diabolical plans from Lions Esports right there, and they do fall back. Magnus is left to one-on-one with Moravis on the Pebbles now here mid, as Aluna is walking by these wards yet again. They want to set up a kill. They actually might catch Glacius, who even though he knows they were there, is in a little bit of trouble. The Emerald Lightning going to come out as well as the Leech, and Super KGE is there. Seal Kid actually brings home that kill with the power throw. So Seal Kid now at 209 GPM, doing a little bit better than the support, and even doing a little bit better than Super KGE down here. So not too often do you see the short lane solo actually falling behind the support in terms of farm. But with 2 kills, the only 2 kills in the game, Seal Kid looking like he's going to have a pretty strong start here. Able to afford boots now if he wants to, and of course the wards that supports do so love to be putting out. Guys, I do want to remind you this is on a 6-minute delay. I'm just seeing a little bit of chat right there, guys, talking about the banners. So I'm sorry I got those figured out as soon as I had remembered to change those. But getting it done. Middle lane actually missed a kill right there, as Hanskin does go down at the hands of Leon Black and Moravis. Looks like both of Pebbles' skills are on cooldown, so just a standard Pebbles combination right there gets the kill. I'm going to go ahead and turn my attention down here. Let's look at the CS. Super KGE, for all the rotation that he's had to do and the bad start that he had against that dual lane, he is at 18 and 10 now. Riser, his opponent in the bottom lane for the time being, is at 19 and 5. So very even down there. Maybe a little bit more denying coming out by the Lions player, but he's doing a fine job. Of course, getting the regen from his Terror Mounds. 3 players meet up here in the middle, but it looks like Pebbles with that 1 assist and 26 and 10 creep score is looking relatively strong, as opposed to the 1 death that Magnus has. Hanskin with 25 and 6 CS. Top lane, Tempest is certainly struggling, 14 and 7 as opposed to the 32 and 18 coming out of Dark Lady, and might be in a little bit more trouble as White is trying to come up and set up a gank with the Contagion nuke, but not quite able to get that one done. Glacius is hanging way far back. He does not want to get hit by that level 3 Lava Surge. Knows that they could easily set up a kill if he does in fact get hit by that. And Parasite's getting in there now, so they're certainly going to be looking for that Lava Surge. Skeleton King is going to go up and try to maybe circle around. Actually, it looks like they might want to try to save this Tempest, who's taking a little bit of aggression, as Parasite is going into the enemy team's jungle now. Oh, combo comes out right now. Just the toss, actually, onto Magnus. If he had actually comboed, they might have been able to get the kill, but of course, the possibility of a Lava Surge. Nice potion cancel with the Thunder Blast there, so good heads-up play. Maybe a Lava Surge coming in right here. Power Throw comes out, doing a little bit of damage to Moravis, who has activated the Illusion Rune that he picked up. Super KGE, now level 6, doing a good job utilizing this Boris minion actually to cancel a potion that had already done its work, so not a huge deal right there, but just keeping Riser back, maybe forcing a couple of last hits to be missed, and of course, just keeping Riser on his toes. Magnus wants to make something happen. Actually, Parasite's in some trouble here as the Contagion nuke comes out of Plague Rider. He hops into a Werebeast and he's trying to get on out of there, but will he be able to? Pebbles is now there as well, so he might be able to get the cutoff. We'll see. The Werebeast is actually going toward Dark Lady, and Enzo is a little bit afraid. He doesn't actually want to go anywhere near that Parasite, knowing the Parasite does in fact have the potential to kill him, so great job right there from Krebson, actually hogging up the time of 4 of these TteS players at the time. Magnus trying to make his way toward wherever the rune is going to spawn, but double damage is actually picked up by Moravis in the top lane. That's where he's going to grab it as a Kelp Field comes out right there, as well as the Lava Surge going to try to turn it around. The Stalagmites do hit Tempest. The ultimate being activated by Magnus, but actually pushed away with a Chuck right there, and Magnus might be a little bit of trouble. Shell Surf's going to come out, not going to choose to port to it though, and after all that, nobody dies there in the middle lane. Potion being activated on Hanskin once again, trying to get his HP back up. And Moravis probably going to use a chuck there before he continues to bottle up and get his HP back. There it is. Grabbing a couple of creep kills with that one, but all is back to the same. Riser, of course, did move to the middle lane to try to set up that gank, and did not succeed with it. So that's a little bit of a setback, as they did let Super KGE continue to farm in the bottom lane while Riser was missing, trying to get that one done. Hanskin picking up a power supply as well as getting his coat on. It's chilly outside. All the magic damage. Does not want to be dying to that Pebbles and Glaciers combination, so I do not blame him for getting that Mystic Festivus. Is the combination going to come out right now? Glaciers is trying to get into position, but a nice Emerald Lightning coming out of Seal Kid right there. Gets the job done. Now, Plague Rider in some trouble up here at top lane as he does go down. Krebson gets the kill on that Parasite, bringing the hero kill score to 3-1. Lions actually in a 1,300 gold lead, as well as an 1,800, now make that 1,900 experience lead at only 9 minutes into the game. So they find themselves in a pretty good position. If we take a look at the gold per minute charts, in fact, Dark Lady is at 315 GPM, but Super KGE is in a good position too. Now putting out some pressure on a Riser, but Tempest is in some huge trouble up here. Actually, the Elemental Void going to be coming out, and Super KGE's Boris is there as well. They're trying to set up the kill into Dark Lady. One more last hit. Yeah, the last auto attack right there does in fact grab him. Parasite's in some trouble though, as he's going to fall to auto attacks as well. Simply was too blocked for the time being. Boris even going to drop as the tower does pick him up. A little bit unfortunate, the hero blocking, the creep blocking, all that nonsense there. Hanskin did in fact TP to that top lane, trying to save his teammates and maybe pick up another hero kill, but wasn't able to get there quite in time. Great job from Super KGE microing that Boris minion in the top lane while continuing to farm down here. With the death on Dark Lady, Super KGE now pulls into the lead in this game. 329 GPM as opposed to the 280 range of both Dark Lady and Pebbles for the TT Esports team. Magnus follows it up closely in second for Lions at 230, actually not that close at all, over 100 GPM behind for the secondary position on the team, tied up with Parasite in that same range. Seal Kid is now down here. They want to be able to set up something onto Whitalba, who does have red boots, but he's only level 3. Will they be going in for it right now? Seal Kid is trying to get there, drops the Ward of Sight to get a little bit better vision, but White is playing super far back. Parasite maybe taking a little bit of pressure there mid as he's trying to deal with the illusions. Actually takes over the Hell Cannon, eats that one up for a little bit of experience and gold as well, and of course to stop any additional damage from coming into his tower. Super KGE going hard onto Plague Rider right here. Boris does not have his root available to him, and auto attacks are all that he needs. Plague Rider in fact does die. Pebbles Illusions coming over here to the top lane, maybe doing a little bit of creep cutting, but no, they do not pull the next creep wave. We'll see if they do choose to turn their attention toward that tower. Long range Chuck right there. Call him Brett Favre, Eli Manning, or whatever you want. Actually, Tempest in some trouble. The turnaround is going to happen, but the Eruption as well as the Lava Surge is going to take out Moravis there. Glacier is going to come in. The Glacial Downpour being activated, doing a lot of damage. Hanskin going to fall as well as Parasite being played by Krebson. And looks like they were able to take 3 kills there in that middle lane. Seal Kid the only one to escape with his life. Now, Super KGE did use that time to get the push on bottom lane, raising his farm up to nearly 400 GPM. And he's looking strong, but giving up a couple of hero kills did equalize the hero kill score. And the gold lead that they might have had from taking that tower neutralized as well, as they did get the kill on Pebbles, but losing 3 of their own, Magnus, Tempest, and Parasite. 3 very important heroes there to lose. Dark Lady has completed her phase boots as well as Ghost Marchers, excuse me, as well as the Sustainer, so she's going to be looking for that quick Rune Dax. Sitting at 513 gold in the bank. I'm not sure if she has a broadsword or not, but going to be looking like she could get a Rune Cleaver as soon as 14 minutes, or as late as, say, 16, 17 minutes, depending on whether or not she has that Rune Dax, or excuse me, that broadsword in the bank. Pebbles bottles up a haste rune. He's going to be making his way down towards Super KGE. Drops a Chuck right there in an auto attack, but takes some return damage. And Tremble is super comfortable with that Shrunken, or excuse me, Helm of the Black Legion. as well as his steam boots, and now a steam staff. He says, well, I can just kind of right-click you. These impalers doing a ton of damage. But Pebble says, no, I'm just going to be down here killing some of your Terramounds. And they've done a pretty good job of keeping those Terramounds down. There's one here and one up in the trees in this location. But that's, of course, super important when you're facing this Tremble. Oh, mid lane, we do in fact have a kill onto Plague Rider right there. I was taking a drink of water and wasn't able to move the mouse fast enough. Sorry about that one, guys. It looks like Hanskin did team up with Seal Kid on the Aluna, as well as LG to get that kill. So Tempest actually brings that one home. Now, it's important to talk about this Steam Staff right here. It's kind of an interesting item that you don't see too often on Tremble. We'll see what he, in fact, does turn that into. He could be picking up something like a Shroud. I've actually talked to a couple of players, though, that have said, hey, Steam Staff, oh, he's going to be going for a Hellflower, actually. Yeah, so there's the first Arcana. But a Steam Staff is actually great for the points. The stats that it has, the attack speed as well as the damage, are actually very, very high for the amount of money that it costs. But turning that into an Arcana, so he's going to be rushing a Hellflower. Not going to be going for any kind of an early Shrunken Head or a Mock of Brilliance that we see so often on that hero, but I like that one quite a bit. Bubbles trying to see if there's any stacking going on over there. Maybe that they might catch someone with the newly acquired Portal Key for Moravis, but nobody there indeed. Magnus trying to catch up to this Pebbles, but he's super far behind. He has picked up Striders as well as his bottle, power supply, TP, and that coat. Got the Mystic Vestments on, but he's quite far away now. They are going to be turning their attention toward Dark Lady up here. Parasite still, or excuse me, that's level 9. I am dyslexic with numbers. Actually, a combo coming in onto Magnus right there. Kelpfield, Lava Surge back through, getting the double stun. Tempest comes in with the Elemental Void. They are going to catch Pebbles, but will they have the attack damage to bring him down? Glacial Blast as well as the Elemental Replicates are going to get the damage done, but a nice Lava Surge there to get away from the Shell Surf that might have actually finished up Hanskin, but no, he's able to get on out of there. Super KGE going deep onto Plague Rider, who does get the TP out at the second tier tower. Super KGE turns his attention toward Glacius, though, as Boris is going to come in, gets a slow off, but not quite able to get anything else done. Mid tower falling now for the Lions team, who finds themselves in a 4,400 gold lead. So that's the gold lead that they were wanting to secure, getting another couple of kills. And looking very strong in this game. GPM charts, 402 GPM on Super KGE, who's been farming in this bottom lane for quite some time. Actually, a combo going to be coming out right here. The Chuck not applied. There he goes. Chucking that Glacius, and Super KGE in some trouble as 4 members of TT Esports do, in fact, team up to grab the kill onto the highest farmer in the game, setting him back about 20 gold per minute. And Dark Lady now looking a little bit stronger in comparison. Will have her Rune Cleaver finished up here at about 300 gold. So that's going to be nice for her. I like this avatar right here. I actually have not seen this avatar before, but it is pretty cool looking. Actually uses fans as the weapons, so that's kind of cool. Top lane was pushed there by Lions Esports. They're looking like they might want to take number 2, as well as Moravis is going to be teaming up with Waitalamba here in the middle lane to possibly knock down the tier 1 middle tower in retaliation. Got that counter push going on, but looks like they're going to back up for the time being. Moravis is still here. Does, of course, have that portal key and a homecoming stone, so might be trying to TP back and catch someone out of position, but it looks like the invisible Magnus might be the one catching somebody out of position. Waitalaba takes a Lava Surge right there and goes down easy to Hanskin, plus Super KGE, bringing home the 9th hero kill here for Lions Esports. All 5 players are in position now. LG on this Tempest is still about 700 gold off of his portal key, so he's not going to have that in time for this fight. What they will have is a Rune Cleaver over here for TT Esports. Enzo picking that one up, but not in time perhaps to defend this tower. Will they be going in? It actually looks like they might want to. Pebbles going to come in with a combo onto Super KGE. Down goes the treble, and immediately, oh my gosh, Plague Rider going to be bouncing around right there. The kelp field has already been used by Riser. Going to be able to get the kill onto Hanskin as well. Whitealba comes in with a contagion nuke, but he's actually going to fall to a turnaround from Parasite. LG going to be turning around and getting on out of there. Parasite running for his life. Will he be able to get out of there? The Tundra Blast is available in 2 more seconds, but a nice juke from Krebson, and it looks like he's going to be able to get out of there. That was an interesting one right there. It looked like Whitealba might have bought back. No, he was only level 7. That was what was confusing me there. I was trying to figure that one out, if he did buy back, but he was level 6 going into that death, so resurrected very, very quickly. And a nice fight there for the TteS guys. They, of course, do have this tower still remaining. It will be denied at some point. I highly doubt they'll leave that one. Oh! Just kidding. Boris goes in there for the kill on that tower. Now, a lot of teams do like to actually leave those towers up so that they can get the TPs to them, continued map control for having them up, but not letting your opponent get the kill on that one is, of course, very important. You want to deny that before your opponent has a chance, and Boris used very, very effectively to actually get that one. Another tower being denied there in the middle lane. LG takes that one down. So let's take stock of things real quick. Magnus, still quite some, or no, I guess he's not, actually. Portal key is acquired on Magnus right there. Tempest is about 100 gold away from his portal key as well. So Lions Esports could be in a relatively good position to have their initiators with the proper items. Super KGE is now about 1,000 gold off of... a kill right there onto Riser on the bubbles. A nice job utilizing that portal key that was so newly picked up right there. It looked like Parasite did in fact have a Wild Hunter, so able to get up there. Invis and teams up with Magnus to bring that one home. But Super KGE about 1,000 gold off of that Hellflower now, so we'll see when he does pick that up. Tempest does have enough money for that portal key as well. Dark Lady taking a little bit of damage there in the jungle as she gets to work on some of these triple stacks. She has actually overtaken Super KGE for the top farm in the game role now. With that Rune Cleaver, able to just clean up triple stacks, able to clean up creep waves so quickly. And she in fact picks up an Ogre Axe, or excuse me, a Mighty Blade. So going to be using that to perhaps make a Frostburn, but more than likely going to be using that to make a Shrunken Head. We shall see. Pebbles comes up here and tries to combo down Boris, but no, just going to use that Chuck. Says, get the hell out of here, you stupid little guy. And out they will go. Riser in a little bit more trouble once again, but looks like he might be able to get out of there. No, the Elemental Void is applied, and Glacier is going to be caught as well. Interrupted now by the Plague Rider ultimate, which is bouncing around, but a nice eruption being channeled, as well as a great power throw right there in the Lava Surge, plus the blink out of there. Hanskin looks like he might be able to get out safely. They want to be able to follow up here. Super KGE is in position, but looks like Lions going to back off, knowing that they got the better end of that bargain. Lost Parasite and Tempest, but took home 3. Whitealba, as well as Riser and Leon Black do fall. 2 supports, and the the bubble's going to fall there. So maybe not the best trade, but certainly one that they're willing to make. Pebbles once again with these the runes here in the top lane are in fact being used to clean up that creep wave, put a little bit of pressure onto the tower, and I have to commend Moravis for his absolutely fantastic rune control this game. Oh, Tate Soul coming in right there, as well as the Charging Strikes, Dark Blades, applied the Ice Imprisonment, and Super KGE dies for, well, that's the 3rd time, and I believe all 3 of his deaths might have been down here in the same position in the bottom lane. He keeps getting caught out, and with that 2nd tier tower still available, the port ends are very easy for the TteS team, and Super KGE repeatedly getting caught out. His farm's all the way down to 355 GPM now, whereas Dark Ladies has escalated all the way up to 465 as we see her finish up that Shrunken Head. Going to be a very nice item to have, keeping her immune to all the magic type stuns that the opposing team has. Still has to be quite wary of that Elemental Void from Tempest though, so we'll see. Now, Super KG, we talked about him being 1,000 gold away from that Hellfire for quite some time now, but unfortunately he's kind of finished up dying, and hopefully he'll finish that one up soon, as he is 600 gold away at this point. Parasite finishes up his Hellflower though. Grebson having a pretty fantastic game, 272 GPM, 6-3 and 3 on this Parasite. Been involved in quite a few kills, 9 out of the 15 kills to be accurate for his team. And with that Hellflower that he's rushed in addition to those Striders, should be a very useful item to lock down this Dark Lady before she gets that Shrunken Head off. And in fact, they're kind of in this area right now, looking like they might want to set up a gank. The Minotaur is going to be backing out, though, for the time being. Dark Lady is not too far away, but Lions has no way of knowing that that is where she is, as they do not have any wards on the map right now. Actually, Boris going to run into Dark Lady. Bevel's going to come in and combos down a creep wave. That might be the signal that they need to try to get a gank going on up here. In fact, Tremble does put down the Terror Mound. This is going to reveal who is there, and looks like they might want to go in. Minotaur is in position. A Lava Surge comes out right there, channeling the ultimate. A Push Staff actually pushes the wrong person there, as Magnus actually does get combo down, though, as the Shrunken Head is activated. Slagmite's going to be coming out. Plague Rider thinks about using his ultimate, but in fact, LG is going to fall. Now, the Push Staff was used right there. It was kind of an interesting one. I'm not quite sure. Maravis did use that Push Staff, but yeah, not sure if that was the right target or not. But in fact, both Hellflowers are finished up here for the Lions team. Maybe this will spell a little bit more success, as they've been losing these team fights. They've been getting counter ganked on every time they want to get a pick off, and Enzo has only died once in this game so far. Now TPing down to the bottom lane, as once again Super KGE caught out of position. A lot of spells being used right there, but bringing down the carry for the other team. It's well worth it to use that Plague Rider ultimate. Well worth it to use 3 or 4 TPs to get that one done. And bring it home they do. Legendary streak now for Enzo, who's propelled himself up to 491 GPM, very close to breaking that 500 gold per minute mark and getting into that absolutely absurdly farmed territory. He does in fact have 2,000 more gold picked up, so we'll see what items he chooses to go for in the near future. Maybe picking up something like a Frostburn, maybe an Abyssal Skull, or maybe even going for something a little bit heavier like a Savage Mace. We'll have to see. Maravis on that Pebbles has, of course, picked up the push stick, the tablet of command, to go with his portal key and steam boots. Waitalaba still struggling in this game. I mean, he's got the steam boots and the mystic vestments, but he's not the only support on this team, and he's doing a lot of the support, of course. But this is something that you expect to see maybe on a solo support team, but he's teamed up with Glacius, who does have actually decent farm here. Leon Black sitting on steam boots, a Bound Eye, as well as a Power Supply, Mystic Vestments, and that Major Totem. So he's going to be working toward a tablet command of his own. Riser still sitting on the portal key that he's had for quite some time now. Not quite able to get the farm that he's looking for. 248 GPM, so not able to get too much finished up here. Parasite going to be going in. The Lava Surge missing, as there was a nice tablet of command, but they're turning it around onto that Pebbles, the Eruption being channeled right there, and walks back in. The Glacial Downpour being activated as well, though, and it looks like Tempest is going to fall to the hands of this Pebble. Super KGE is in there trying to get something done. The Dark Blade's activated onto Magnus, and he is silenced, so he's going to be falling. The Shelser finishes him off. Actually, Enzo getting credit for that kill, as they're turning their attention now toward Super KGE. The Stalagmites come out, but they do miss. The Frostbrand is finished up, so Super KGE going to be going down. Parasite is in there as well, as they do want to try to finish off that Pebbles, but simply not going to happen as they do get out of there. It looks like it was a 3-for-1 trade favoring TT Esports, bolstering that lead all the way up to 3,500 gold, and more importantly, 13,000 experience. Getting absolutely out of control there with the experience lead. Dark Lady level 18, Maravis and Bubbles 14 and 15. Even the Glacius sitting at level 12, so looking strong. Whereas Super KGE, the carry for the other team, only level 13. You can talk all day about how his farm was decent, but he's died 4 or 5 times in a row without really getting consistent farm off. Let's look at this experience per minute graph. Dark Lady close to double the experience per minute of a lot of these other players. So looking continually strong here at, we do have 208 creep kills at the 27-minute mark. Enzo looking absolutely on fire with that Frostbrand. Would not be surprised to see a Firebrand accompany that to finish up that Frostburn. It's a build that we see relatively commonly, and of course the one that Nox did use in that game with QSQ yesterday. But looking very, very strong at 528 GPM. Now, on the other side, Silkid is trying to get his work done, and Silkid, of course, one of my favorite players. He's trying. He does have a bound die now to accompany his Striders as well as that power supply and Mystic Vestment. So he's trying to get those wards up, trying to get those counter wards up, but it simply looks like he's not able to. The bound die on Glacius for the other team has been doing an effective job of keeping those wards down, as we've seen only 1 or 2 wards up at a time, at times even 0 wards coming out for the Lions team. They're simply not able to get the positioning that they're looking for in these pushes, in these team fights, catch the opposing team off guard, and TteS has been taking the better end of that repeatedly. Red Power Throw comes out and confirms for the Lions team that Kongor is being attempted once again. Although I'm not sure they're going to be able to get there in time. Kongor's taking quite a bit of damage from Dark Lady once she activates that charging strikes in the Dark Blades. Kongor drops quite quickly. Now, Silkid's trying to get a little bit more counter warding done, but I don't think they're going to be initiating here. Actually, Pebbles is going to go in there with the Stalagmites onto Magmus. The Glacial Blast going to follow up as well. All 3 of those activating onto Moravis, but looks like they're going to fall back for the time being. Super KGE might be in a little bit of trouble, though, as Pebbles looks like he wants to try to find this bug over here, but no, both teams going to retreat for the time being. Oh, just kidding. Nice portal key on out of there. Riser with the Spidey reflexes. And gets out of there just before, you know what, that wasn't even Spidey reflexes, that was more like Spidey sense. He portal keyed just before the Magmus did in fact get there, so a great job, probably utilizing this ward right here. Might have spotted him coming in. Hanskin not able to land that stun though, and that would have been a nice pickoff for the Lions team. Maybe set up a push where they could have gotten this middle tower down and reduced the Lions esports, or the TT esports team, to just 1 outer tower, but unfortunately they were not able to get that one set up. Bottom defensive tower here is still available. Oh, Krebson grabs the kill onto Riser right there, and that's the pick that they were looking for. The Hellfire was, of course, used in combination with the stun coming in from Magmus, so a nice quick pick off there for the Lions esports team. Now, all 4 players remaining for TteS, they're kind of grouped up here mid, and all 5 Lions are making their way, so there's definitely going to be a push here where there's a fight is up to TteS, as they look like they might want to defend this. Terror Mound dropped on top right there, but the Elemental Replicate's doing a majority of the damage. A Tundra Blast comes out, as well as a Chuck, and they're going to be able to clean up all 6 of those Replicates nice and easy. Super KGE on the front lines, perhaps a little bit vulnerable. As soon as the Chuck is back up in 1 second, would not be surprised. Actually, counter initiation as the Eruption is channeled, as well as the Law Surge on in there, grabs Glacius right away. Tempest in some trouble, though, as Dark Lady's trying to chase onto her. Super KGE being taken out. The Plague used right there. Elemental Void is activated, but Hanskin has to get out of there. That was a wasted Tempest Elemental Void, as he is in fact just going to try to run away. Hanskin used that Lava Surge. You got to use that Lava Surge, but not able to get out of there in time. I don't know why he was hanging on to his stun for so long. Moravis comes in right there with the Chuck, as well as the Song of the Sea and the Dark Blades to clean that up. TteS looking very strong. It was great initiation, utilizing the Hellflower onto that Pebbles so that he wasn't able to get any counter initiation off immediately, and then takes down the Glacius, does a lot of damage to the Pebbles and a couple other players there with a nice Magmus initiation, but there was simply not enough follow-up. Super KGE went in, and with that Hellflower and no Shrunken Head, not able to get onto the targets that he was looking for, and by taking out just the Glacius there and losing Super KGE, Hanskin, and LG, they, of course, left themselves vulnerable. Krebson does get the kill onto Leon Black on the Glacius, but he's going to pay for that one. As the TPs do come in, Krebson dies. Legendary streak now coming out for Moravis. The Bound Die reacquired by the TteS team. And with a 6,000 gold lead and a 16,000 experience lead, TT Esports is looking absolutely phenomenal here at 30 minutes into this game. Astrolabe being picked up onto Plague Rider. The Frostband, of course, finished here on Dark Lady. Enzo might be looking for a new item as well, now that he's up to about 3,000 gold in the bank. Mravis picks up a Soul's Bulwark, so look for that to be worked up into a Demonic at some point here. Glacius still continuing to try to get that Tablet of Command done, but not anytime soon, as he's taken a couple of deaths recently. A Neophyte's book is actually being picked up here by Riser, so could be looking for a push stick of his own, or of course might be looking for something else, maybe by way of that Storm Spirit, a very effective item to have against a team with multiple Hellflowers. Get Hellflowered, simply put him up into the air, and, well, that player just doesn't care because he's invulnerable for 3 seconds of that 4-second Hellflower duration. Once he comes back down, hopefully he won't die during that last second. Tower absolutely cleaned up right there by the Hellborn, and they're going to be starting to push toward the bottom lane. 3 other players already present in that lane, 2 more making their way down. A little bit of a counter push coming out as the Lions Esports says we can't fight this just yet. We don't have TteS Elemental Void. Going to try to start this counter push and then TP back, maybe defend bases. Actually, there's not a TP on a Magnus. They might be all in here as Magnus is not going to be able to get back in time. The tower does, of course, fall for the Hellborn, and they have actually fallen back now. So a nice job of making sure that they were only going to lose that bottom tower, which they were going to lose no matter what. But by forcing up the middle, they made sure that there was not any additional pressure put on the racks, possibly trying to wait out the 2 minutes left on this token, make sure that they have TteS Elemental Void up when they do choose to engage. But on the other side, TteS picks up some big items of their own. Demonic Breastplate comes out, finished up for Pebbles, and he's looking pretty beastly now. Parasite picks up a portal key, so that's going to be a very useful item for him. Maybe get in there and pick off one of the players before the fight actually starts. Maybe something like the Plague Rider or the Bubbles would be fantastic to utilize that Hellflower with. Stalagmites come onto that Parasite, but they realize it's just an illusion, not too big of a deal. Super KGE TP's back out of that top lane, does not want to get caught once again. Going to use this time to try to check the Ancients, but they're in fact not there. Continuing to spread the Terror Mounds all over the place so that they can actually try to get this defensive tower before the Hellborn team gets too deep in the top lane. We'll see if that's what they in fact choose to do here at 35 minutes into the game. So Pebbles finished up that Demonic Breastplate. Dark Lady now is sitting on Rift Shards. That is Rift Shards 4. Okay, so that's a thing now. Dark Lady hitting for 330 damage without those Dark Blades activated, with them activated, hitting for 441, and of course crits are going to be somewhere up in the 800 range. She's actually trying to chase down the Magnus. Will she be able to land the Taint Soul? No, not quite, as she is going to start working on the defensive tower. Immediately just cleans up that crit. Yeah, crits for the 800 right there. Creep Wave disintegrates at the hands of Enzo, and they're now going to turn their attention toward this base tower. You notice he has 25 seconds left on this token, so he wants to be able to burn that in the team fight, and they're going to put a ton of damage onto this tower. We'll see what Lions chooses to do in response. Super KGE does take down that tower in the bottom lane, but I don't know what Lions can do. There's 5 seconds left now onto this token, so they've waited out the token. That's no longer going to be in play, and it looks like they're going to just back off. TteS knows they're so far in the lead, they do not want to throw it away without that token. They're in fact going to retreat, just keep on farming, maybe pick up another couple items, wait for Kongor to respawn in 3 minutes here, then maybe take the fight at Kongor, grab that Aegis, and go on from there. Seal Kid finishes up his push staff, as well as Magnus picking up a Mighty Blade now, so going to be working on a Shrunken Head at some point. Magnus may be getting a little bit too far up there, as he could have been caught out by that Dark Lady, but in fact is going to fall back for the time being. Parasite with 2,300 gold, possibly saving for buyback at this point, although he needs to finish up some kind of an item. We'll see what he might get. Maybe something like a Storm Spirit. Probably too late for a Codex at this point, but we'll see. Super KGE just finished up something. It's on the courier. Let's take a look at what that in fact is as I click a hut. He finishes up his Shrunken Head, so with that Mighty Blade in his inventory, makes a lot of sense. Dark Lady picks up a huge item right here, grabs a Homecoming Stone. So guys, we are going to see that one in this game. No, but just filling his inventory up with that Homecoming Stone. Wants to remain safe for any kind of backdoor play for the time being. A Codex is actually finished up here on Parasite, so knows that he needs some damage to accompany that Hellflower. But with Kongor coming up here in about 2 minutes, that Homecoming Stone might well bite the dust once again in favor of a Token of Life. Elder Parasite coming out onto Pebbles, so this is an item that we do not see too often. Maravis, this might also be kind of a taunting item, saying, we're so far ahead, I can go this. But course, Elder Parasite, not a terrible item to have on that Pebble. Is going to enable him to get a little bit of lifesteal, so it will be useful for maybe tanking Kongor, doing something along those lines. And, of course, increasing his attack speed by 20%, which is something that's going to be very useful for Pebbles at this point in the game. And with a double damage, oh my god. If they give that double damage rune to Dark Lady, and then Dark Lady crits something, it's going to be like a, what, 1100 crit, something stupidly high like that. That's going to be kind of scary. 4,700 gold currently on Dark Lady. Might actually just buy something different here, as there is an Abyssal Skull onto Plague Rider, so not going to be looking for one of those, but might go for a Savage Mace or something like that. I would love to see a Savage Mace picked up instead of that Homecoming Stone right there, and they might be going into the fight right here. Dark Lady might actually get caught out, as Magnus is channeling his Eruption right here. In comes the Eruption plus everything. Dark Lady in some trouble, but no, the Storm Spirit comes out. The Codex finishes him off, though, and that's what Dark Lady has all that gold saved up for. A buyback will need to be used here, as Lions eSportKlubb does get the nice pick off. Parasite even coming in with a Blink Dagger, and great pick. Dark Lady, will she buy back, as Lions eSports does want to do this fight? As soon as they see the Dark Lady, actually, Bubble's going to be coming in. The buyback has been activated right there. Immediately, Super KGE falling. Magnus trying to get on out of there with that port. He is able to get out of there. It looks like Seal Kid going to move backward, but a nice use of the Storm Spirit. Okay, that was a one-shot onto Dark Lady, and too easy indeed, as Aluna as well as Super KGE are the only players to fall in that team fight, but that is all that TteS needed in order to secure a nice, easy Kongor kill. They're going to make their way over towards that one. The double damage does wear off there on Moravis. This courier is kind of chasing down somebody. There's no item left on it. Actually puts the oh-so-important Homecoming Stone back on the bird so that they can turn their attention toward this Kongor. Dark Lady going to come in there and start shredding the big guy down. Moravis pounding him with his big rock fist as well, and it looks like it should go to Dark Lady once again, as she has freed up an inventory spot. So down it goes. Now on that third one, I would expect to see that possibly go to someone like Riser on the Bubbles or Moravis on the Pebbles, as well as the Bananas going to the other. As Dark Lady, by that point, will likely be item capped, and that last spot will be filled up by something along the lines of a Savage Mace, or maybe even splitting up that Frostburn. Who knows what he might be going for. Symbol of Rage also, of course, is a possibility. Magnus is over here looking for another pickoff onto the Dark Lady like they had the last time, which was a very good way to start the fight, but with an Aegis of Life now, going to be a lot harder. Super KGE is now going in, starting to attack. The Shrunken Head being activated by Tremble, and actually he's just going to man up on the Dark Lady for the time being. The Eruption is channeled, hitting Plague Rider as well as Moravis in the background, but a nice Storm Spirit comes in. A good Tempest Elemental Void, but he's absolutely destroyed. 1,152 crit onto the Tempest, turns his attention to Handskin as well, and it looks like Lions might have to concede here. GG well played are going up. Vote to concede is put up, and Dark Lady goes in and just absolutely shreds the entire team. A quad kill coming out for Enzo. 12, 2, and 10. Genocide. And GG well played. Nice job there from TT Esports to take this first game. Defeat comes out, and looks like Alliance is going to have their work cut out for them going into game 2. They're going to have to win that one or face elimination here from the Diamond bracket of HoN Tour Cycle 1. So, Diamond on the line right now. They won't be falling to gold, of course, but just eliminated from the Diamond tournament for the next week. But TT Esports looks strong. Will they be able to close it out in game 2? Or will Lions be able to bring it back with a game 3? You'll just have to stick here and find out. This has been Complexity Cast with your casting host, Beef. Thank you for joining me, guys. Make sure to check out Complexity over at ComplexityGaming.com, Facebook at Complexity Gaming, and Twitter, Complexity Live. Let them know how much you enjoy Complexity Cast here for Heroes of North so that I can keep bringing you guys these games. And, of course, a huge shout-out to the Complexity sponsors, QPad, PNY, Origin, and Creative Sound Blaster. And also a big shout-out to S2 Games for allowing me to cast these fantastic HoN Tour games and for putting HoN Tour together, of course. So, guys, we're going to take a very quick break. In the meantime, go ahead and head over to Twitter and follow me at BeefPotPie1 for all of your Complexity Heroes of New Earth information. And anytime that we're going live here at twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. Quick break, getting game 2 set up, guys. Don't go anywhere.